The Conjuring 2 is based on the true story of a pair of paranormal investigators researching a haunting. Much like the first film or other series like Insidious, it's a horror for general audiences, which means it's dumbed down for a wider appeal.
I think of those fans that came up to me, and I'm sure it came up to Vera as well after the first one, that said, you know, I don't even like horror movies, but I love The Conjuring. And that to me says so much about the film reaching a much broader audience. The Conjuring audience.
One of the things I always ask myself when watching a horror film is, if it doesn't scare me, what else does it have to offer? Well, it didn't scare me. I'm not scared. The story was by the numbers, but it was interesting enough to keep me engaged. It was acted and shot well with a few good scenes of tension. I don't think it had many jump scares, but that could be because they telegraphed them so early they didn't register with me.
Will you go to bed?
It's worth mentioning that I generally don't like ghosts in horror films because they never establish what the ghost can and can't do, and it comes across like they're making it up as they go along. As the film was moving along, I couldn't help but predict what would happen next, and then I would say to myself, the ghost is going to do this. Oh wait, that won't happen because there's been no indication that the ghost can do something like that. And then, boom! The ghost does it. Cut to scene of character explaining the ghost can do this. It feels like an uncreative way to get the characters out of a problem. The ending was a bit weird. I won't spoil anything, but it was almost like the villain gave up at the end. Maybe it was tired. I know I am. It's not a bad film. It follows the overused formula of a family in a house that turns out to be haunted by ghosts, and the film offers absolutely nothing new, but is one of the better versions of that particular formula. I think I'd recommend this to anyone that's looking for a little bit of a scary film, but not really into the whole horror genre. It's generic, but well made. For me, I enjoyed it. I had a good time with it. It's certainly a crowd pleaser.
I had a premonition of your death.
And that to me says so much about the film reaching a much broader audience.
Down over Big Al.